Good morning, boxing heads. After a crazy, wild weekend in the sport, Broner and Vargas draw. Hold on one second. Let me turn this damn TV down. Broner and Vargas make a draw, or have a draw, however you want to say it. And we got all type of rumors going about around the internet. People arguing over Triple G. People arguing over this and that. And I want to say this and keep it short, simple, and sweet and to the point. And this is going to give you both sides with the whole Triple G. Was Triple G protected? Was Triple G not protected? I'm going to give you Triple G fans' perspective best I can. If you're a Triple G fan, you can argue in the comment section. And I'm going to give you the people who are non-Triple G fans. Then I'm going to give you the people like me who are just in the middle. One, I did a video on this last week. Okay. Was Triple G protected? Most people would say everybody put in front of him, he fought, mandatory, all that. That's your argument. Of course he was protected by HBO because that was their money and their prize. The difference is, and this is really where my problem is with Triple G. All the stuff that goes on now, I really don't care. He's getting older. But my beef with Triple G is 3, 4, 5, however many years ago, when he should have fought Andre Ward. He ducked Andre Ward. Let's just be honest about it. Let's not sit here and get mad and say, he's too big. Okay, but for the longest, people were saying Floyd needed to go up and fight Triple G. So Floyd has to go up 2 weight classes, but Triple G can't go up 1 weight class? How fair is that? Another thing, when y'all see what happened with Chocolatito Gonzalez, HBO is always trying to force a narrative. And when you do that, you lose. And that's why Showtime is putting on the best things in boxing right now. What I mean by that is, how do I say this? When they did Chocolatito and they tried to make him pound for pound, as soon as they did that and they promoted him, he lost. Then after Chocolatito lost, everybody on HBO tried to lie and say, oh, he really didn't lose the fight. Those judges are horrible. It should be an immediate rematch. And then Chocolatito gets his ass knocked out. Now we haven't heard anything from Chocolatito since. And that's what happens when your intention is bad, not good. Right now, Triple G will probably fight Canelo one more time. If he doesn't fight Canelo one more time, he'll probably fight somebody and then he'll retire. He most likely will not fight a Charlo. He probably won't fight an Andrade. He might fight a Billy Joe Saunders. I don't know. But he's probably not going to fight anybody that can give him problems. He did fight Danny Jacobs. Give Triple G credit for that. And even Danny Jacobs said it's too much time, or it's too little time to prepare. That's where I agree with Triple G at this point. If you got to fight a Charlo, if you got to fight Andre, first of all, those are 2 big fights. So why the hell are we trying to force those fights in 3 weeks? Let those fights simmer for 3 months, because when it happens, it's going to be the biggest crap ever. You let those fights happen, and they potentially have, opportunity to make record-breaking numbers. So you have to understand that, ladies and gentlemen, is that when you want them to fight these top-notch competition, I'm with it. I think he needs a fighter, but let those fights marinate so the boxing fans can wait for it. Just like Broner Vargas, last week was so intense, people couldn't wait till the fight happened. Everything was so intense, people could not wait till Saturday night to get on the couch and watch that fight. The NBA playoffs had problems with ratings because of that fight. It was so anticipated. So when you have these big fights, I agree with the people who think Triple G needs better competition, but let them fights build up. The problem I have with Triple G and them promoting him for pound list, come on, man, you got to fight the best. And let's just be honest. Now, I will say this. If he retires undefeated and he doesn't clearly beat Canelo, or he doesn't beat any of his mandatories that he has now, And Triple G's already said it's getting harder and harder because I'm getting older. But Floyd said that when he was 37 years old and they threw him in the ring with a 23-year-old Canelo. So we gotta be fair. You know what I mean? I'm going to be fair on both sides. 3 weeks is not enough time to prepare for a big fight, but at the same time, Triple G fans, y'all got to acknowledge that Triple G hasn't fought the most elitist of competition. You know, Willie Monroe, knocking Willie Monroe Jr. out. Come on, man. You know, let's be realistic. Some of these guys, Martin Murray was all right, but I mean, it's not a mean athletic fighter. We want mean athletic fighters. So, for the sake of boxing, the part 2 will happen. But I don't even know if Canelo will fight Triple G again. Who knows? He might be done with it and not even care. Like, man, I'm done with this shit. I don't care. I can draw a big crowd and fight whoever the hell I want. So he might not even need. And that's what is goofy to me about the whole Triple G situation is Triple G needs Canelo. Canelo doesn't need Triple G. Triple G needs Canelo. Canelo doesn't need Triple G. And that doesn't make sense because Triple G is the champion. He has all the belts. So, and they've tried, and this is why I tell people don't get mad when they say they're overhyping Triple G because, I mean, look at Triple G. They tried to put Lemieux on pay-per-view, didn't do well. Jacobs on pay-per-view, didn't do well. So the boxing fans and the boxing community is responding how they want to see. They don't want to see that shit. Like, he's not doing anything that is impressive. So it's showing you people with their actions that they think it's a hype job. So they're not buying it. You know, even Kovalov Ward, the pay-per-view did all right. Now, in the future, pay-per-view, we could have Gervonta Davis, Lomachenko, Manny Pacquiao, Adrian Broner. That would do good on pay-per-view. You know, it wouldn't do $1 million, but it would probably do about $500,000. Let me see, Earl Spence versus Crawford. That might do 200,000, 300,000 pay-per-view buys. That might do solid. What's another match, guys? I'm getting stuck here. That would be a great pay-per-view fight. Canelo, he really hasn't had anybody that's been big mouth or gotten to him, but I'm sure he'll have bigger pay-per-view dates down the road, just like him with Cotto, him with Triple G. So, you know, Canelo's more of a pay-per-view star than Triple G. You know, Triple G is a HBO regular fighter type thing unless he fights a big, you know, bigger name. And we got to also understand this when it comes to fan bases. When you put someone on pay-per-view, you got to make sure that shit sells. You got to make sure the personalities in the fighter sells. As many people can't stand Adrian Broner, if you put him on pay-per-view versus Pac-Man or Manny Pacquiao, that shit's going to sell. Let's just be honest. It's going to sell because people want to see him get his butt whooped. They want to see his hand speed versus Pacquiao's hand speed. It's a fun fight. Lomachenko, Tank Davis, that'll be a fun fight if that's pay-per-view. Crawford, Spence, that'll be a fun fight. Mikey Garcia versus Lomachenko, that'd be a fun fight. You know, or Mikey Garcia versus Pacquiao, that's a fun fight. There's some fights out there that will sell and, you know, will be fun. So that's all I got for today, man. It was an exciting weekend of boxing. You know, a lot of arguments about Triple G, who he's fighting. Of course, HBO is going to protect him. Of course, ESPN is going to protect him. But that's what they in the business. If he retires undefeated, that's what the boxing fans got to say. Y'all got to hold him in certain characters. Will he be in the Hall of Fame? Will he not? You know, how can he be number one pound for pound if everybody has to come up and fight him? He doesn't have to go up and wait to fight anybody. We'll see, guys. You know, and then my last thing is people actually try to compare him to Marvin Hagler. Come on, man. Come on. Let's just be realistic. Marvin Hagler was ridiculously... And back then, when you fought, you had to fight. It wasn't no referee stopping the fight after 2 knockdowns or that's enough and all this soft, we tape you up and bandage you up stuff. You was in a fight till the end. So if you want to compare him to Marvin Hagler, that's fine. But most people would tell you to get real. This is Mad Chuck Sports Radio. I'm signing off. Boxing Heads. HBO Boxing this week, Danny Jacobs. Everybody have a good one. Peace.